Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the podcast of Talk Nerdy to Me. This is JB, Gals Masters in front of me, and Chris.
Hey, what's up?
Love that opening theme music. It's like Jet Set Willy.
Good
Jet Set Willy, that rings a bell.
It was like an old platform game, and he's just like a little stick man, and it's got like this 8-bit fucking
I'm gonna Google him. That's Tetris.
I know that. Okay, it's not that.
That's Sick Man. Did he go down and then left a bit and then down and then right?
Yeah, that's right. As good as platform games are, aren't they?
That's Tetris.
Every
movement in the platform game.
Yeah.
I'm Googling Jet Set Willy.
Yeah,
you used to spin blocks and you had to fit them in. Oh wait, that's Tetris.
Are you sure you weren't just high playing Tetris?
Yeah,
Something else. Oh yeah, that Jet Set Willy. Yeah, it's possible.
Just playing Tetris in your jet shirt with your willy out.
I used to call it Jet Set Willy. Brilliant. I can't believe you have a poster for her.
It's Boss, that film, mate.
I've not seen it.
Oh,
why would you want Joaquin Phoenix's ugly face with a moustache?
Ugly face, what are you on about? Beautiful face, mate.
It's not the best looking guy.
It's one of my favourite films ever, that.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
I'm gonna have to
I
check
pretty
it out.
much wanted, we always bang on about these films that are 10 out of 10. I wanted to get,
The 10
all
out
of the
of
10 out of 10
10s,
ones.
yeah.
And I've
Barbarella.
got one.
I've got one, yeah.
Sorry, 2 I've got so far. They're not
Yours.
even 10 out of 10s.
No, yeah.
These are 9s over here. But they're both 10.
Yeah, definitely. They're both.
Well,
Is the one thing
Shadow of a House.
is the thing that makes Aliens a 9 out of 10? Is it, or is it the girl?
What's wrong with the girl?
I'd give
Oh.
Alien.
No, not
10.
Alien. Aliens.
I love Aliens. It's
Would you like it better
so
than
fucking
Alien?
good. Yeah. Seriously, it's like one of those sequels.
It's a sequel that is better than the original,
better
yeah.
than the original.
Because the
Maybe
first
I've not
one's
watched it now.
like this sci-fi.
I think it's just
thriller.
because
And then it becomes a horror.
knew what it was.
Action horror.
In the second one, it was almost like the first one was kind of set
Setting
obviously
it up.
a little bit, and then it was like Mad Max. Have you ever watched Mad Max, the first one?
Vaguely
Mad Max,
remember
the
it.
second one, is like a different animal
Yeah.
of film. It's just unbelievable.
Right.
Because they almost took the good bits out of the first and went, that's what really made that film good. Let's do that more.
Well, they've got.
And then, Mel Gibson in the second one is an absolute nutter.
Yeah.
What do you mean in the second one? He's just an absolute nutter.
Yeah, he's a nutter in real life. Have you
built
watched
this-
Bloodfather yet?
No, I'm going to watch that when I go home.
It is literally Mel Gibson being Cow. It's just so good. I mean, he's an absolute tit, isn't he? But he's not good at
Going for
action
it.
films.
Have you got news?
Well, I thought we could start with some trailers because there's quite a few, and a couple that I'm really excited about. So what's first up?
So
First up, Gaz, is what?
yeah, I've been touting about this TV series for quite some time. I've mentioned it quite a lot. I think I watched the original film, Westworld, was from 1979, something like that. I can't quite remember the year, but it literally was a fucking film that was so good, but so unheard of.
Yeah,
It's
I know
the same
it.
guy who wrote Jurassic Park, and it was basically the film that set up Jurassic Park. It's like the blueprint for it. So, it's very much a theme park. Something goes wrong.
Oh,
but
shit,
instead
yeah.
of dinosaurs, it's like robots that simulate the westerns or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
So it's all
Crazy
cowboys.
concept.
It's absolutely unreal, and I couldn't believe that I got to the age of 30 before I saw it. Do you know what? It's
Yeah.
one of those that I just think, how is this not
I haven't
bigger?
heard of it, yeah.
And it's
I'm the
such a
same.
good film.
So I'm the same as JB. I've
So,
never heard of it before.
HBO have bought the series rights for it, and it looks fantastic as well. And it's going to be a bit more darker by the look of it. But anyway, we'll watch the trailer. We'll
Yeah.
see what you guys think of it, because I am besotted with it.
It was 1973, the Westworld film.
Do you know where you are?
I'm in a dream.
That's right, Dolores. You're in a dream. Have you ever questioned the nature of your reality?
Welcome to Westworld. No orientation. No guidebook. All our hosts are here for you.
In this world, you can be whoever you want.
you real?
Well, if you can't tell, does it matter?
This behavior, we're miles beyond a glitch here.
What are your drives?
To meet my maker.
I'm terrified. I feel spaces opening up inside of me. Like a building with rooms I've never explored. I think there may be something wrong with this world. Something hiding underneath. These violent delights have violent ends.
So, we just watched Westworld trailer. Gaz is grinning like a Cheshire cat.
Mate, I absolutely love the look of that. I just think that's just obviously a teaser trailer, and it does exactly that.
Tease.
Doesn't it? It's just gripping to me. Like, I just think there's something about it. It looks dark, it looks gritty, it looks like it's got a hell of a lot of action in it, and you don't really know what to expect. Obviously, I've seen the film, but even that looks completely different. I couldn't even say that enough. It looks like a completely different concept based on the same idea.
If you hadn't just explained that to us about the movie, the original film, me and JB, we've never even heard of it, we wouldn't know what that was about, would we?
I wouldn't. Yeah, I'd be struggling with that.
Would it entice you in though?
I think it would, but I wouldn't have too much faith in it.
Yeah, because
now I know what it's capable of.
Because I know that they're robots and shit. That interests me. But from that trailer, I wouldn't have got that. It looks dark as fuck, and it looks really, intense and quite interesting. And as soon as I saw J.J. Abrams' name pop up, I was like, okay, now I'm interested.
Yeah. And Jonathan Nolan.
It's going to be good.
It
looks like a film, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This is a TV show, right?
It's a TV show, so I think it's going to be about 10 episodes, something like that.
I like it because then they'll be able to span it out and really thicken up everything.
No, it looks boss, but
Wonder Woman's going to be pissed their logo got nicked.
Yeah, I thought that towards the end.
HBO being fucking brave there. I mean, it said now that it's completely available to watch on HBO, so we could probably...
Well, it's October basically release.
Is it?
Yeah.
So wow, yeah. No, that looks interesting. I just can't wrap my head around the bit where you said it was Jurassic Park. This is like the blueprint of Jurassic Park.
It really is.
Yeah, but I like the idea of someone like going. So I've got this idea, right, of a theme park, and it's set in the cowboy times. And people go in. They sort of like this augmented reality, and they actually interact with robots. When the robots starts going wrong, it's a bit like AI meets The Truman Show meets iRobot, and someone going, right, well, how about we just do it with dinosaurs?
Be better with dinosaurs.
Everything's better with dinosaurs.
Yeah, it's very true though.
Yeah, that's how it would have gone. That's exactly how that would
I remember obviously being a kid when Jurassic Park came out, and that was literally... I was obsessed with dinosaurs. My mum and dad say, like, every time I came home from school, or every time they'd talk to like a teacher or something about like a report or something, and it was just he just always writes dinosaurs. I was obsessed.
You were the weird dinosaur boy.
I was. I think my mum said she found a card from like a Mother's Day or something. And it was like a Mother's Day card, and I'd drawn a dinosaur.
That's brilliant.
What say? Happy Mother's Day, you dinosaur.
Think of it like
Getting back to the trailer, I love that shot where they pulled out, and it was like a this isn't talk dirty to me, Jamie. It's talk nerdy to me. Where like it panned out, and the world,
it's all tiny and they're all,
and it's on like a table,
and
it's like when they use like tactical tables,
war table, the war room.
And they pulled out, and it was just this great big shot of like a desert and the little town. Like that interests me. Like that's
it's gorgeously shot. Like it's got some like great people involved.
Yeah, so
I mean, it's just one of those that I just think it is going to be huge.
You can tell just from the trailer, just from the teaser, that the acting is going to be on par. Like there's going to be some good performances and good visual treats for the eyes, I think. So yeah, that looks exciting.
All right, what else have you got lined up for us, Gary? Is it the Magnificent Seven?
Yes, it is. More Cowboys.
More Cowboys.
Sir, I have a proposition. We're decent people being driven from our homes. Slaughtered in cold blood.
So you seek revenge?
I seek righteousness. But I'll take revenge.
Took a job looking for some men to join me. Is it difficult? Impossible. How many you got so far? You and me?
Quite a batch of strays.
This is not going to end well. God dang it, I'm good. How many men you say?
Yeah, that kicks ass. Magnificent
Doesn't
Seven
it?
looks like it's
Oh
going to
my
kick so much
word.
ass.
Like, the people in that. I mean, I was sold on this once I heard it was Denzel Washington.
The Denzel.
I thought that was like such a good casting for this film. I don't know whether you've ever seen the original, like, but
No,
I mean,
well,
it's
the original.
it's decent. Like,
There's about
I like
4
westerns.
originals, isn't there?
1960
Oh, yeah,
was
yeah.
the original, and I've seen it. Have you seen the original? Or?
No, I've not seen any of them.
And I enjoyed it. I mean, and I'm not a big fan of cowboys. I've got to say, it's not really my bag. But I have seen, like, you know, Good, Badly, Ugly, Magnificent Seven. Like, I've made a point to like the iconic sort of cowboy films,
the spaghetti westerns,
yeah,
and stuff like that.
all
They're
the
really,
spaghetti
like, big
westerns,
ones.
and I did enjoy them, you know. But obviously, they're trying to reboot this because we live in an age of reboots and, you know, remakes. And I think that they're going to do a good job on it. But I've got to say that was a very good trailer, like very well placed together.
I
trailer.
kind of disagree.
Really?
Yeah, because I think that was borderline close to showing too much.
No, I'm not.
I think I've got already an idea of the structure, and I have a feeling I'm going to know what battles they're not going to win, what battles they are going to win, what the choices they're going to make. I've got an idea in my head now already, whereas the previous trailer before that, it was all up in the air for me. But it's not. That's just like picking apart what you just said. The actual, I enjoyed that. I liked that. I also like to see the Denzel back together with Ethan Hawke.
Oh yeah.
Training Day.
Yeah, exactly.
And the director of Training Day. Oh, mate.
And I don't know whether you've seen The Equalizer. I think it's the guy who did that as well.
Oh no, it said The Equalizer.
Yeah,
Were they in The Equalizer as well?
Yeah, well, no, not together, sorry, but
say.
Denzel Washington's in it with that guy, and it is literally stunning, that film as well.
You do not
It's,
anger the
so
Denzel.
exciting. And I think Chris Pratt being in it, I mean, I've got such a
His
man crush
Prattisms.
on this guy since, like, you know, he's done Guardians and stuff like
It's
that.
kind of like the white Will Smith. He just plays himself.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it.
And he's good at it. Like, you know, Jurassic World. You know, I liked him in that.
Oh God, yeah.
You know, he is Star-Lord. You know,
I think
he's whatever character he puts on.
He's basically like the new generation's, you know, Harrison Ford, and
Yeah,
that really
like,
works for him.
I think it's one of those with some people you watch when they're in films and you think, do you know what, that guarantees that it's going to be good?
Yeah,
almost.
exactly.
Because you just don't pick bad stuff. I mean, even like
he was in
with
Delivery
Parks
Man.
and Recreation and stuff like that, you know, it's just...
He was in Delivery Man.
I've not seen that one.
Exactly. That was the one where Vince Vaughn finds out that he could have had like 50 babies, and his mate, Chris Pratt, is a guy struggling to juggle 2 babies.
You know, from what I've heard, I've not seen Parks and Recs, but from what I've heard, that was where he
blossomed,
come into his own.
Oh God,
you know, after that, it was Guardians of the Galaxy, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, Guardians was a
and
big
that
one.
just sort of made him as the superstar that he is now. But no, I think like for me, the thing that interests me most about that is the interaction between the cast and the acting.
Yeah,
and they've got a stellar cast lineup, and I think that's what's going to make the film, rather than the plot. It's going to what can they do with like cowboys? You know, I mean, it's more or less the same thing every time. So I think the main draw, the thing that's going to make that film is the interaction between the cast.
These are really interesting points coming from a man who really likes Suicide Squad. To be sullying the plot. And then to be going, it's all about the characters and interactions. What fucking interactions are in that fucking film?
I liked the acting Suicide Squad anyway. This isn't about...
No, it's not. That's another one. But
we still need to fucking record a video about that.
Yeah, we need to hash that out.
We've done all these video reviews.
And
we've more or less agreed on it.
It's a lover's tiff that we've got going on.
We've got to have it out over, you know...
Well, that's something for the future. But, yeah, Magnificent Seven... Definitely. I mean, you said before, like, it's a reboot, but to me, it's not a reboot. It's just a story that needs to be told every so long. Because this started off as a story of 7 ninjas in like a 1910 film or 1920s film. It's originally a Japanese concept of 7 ninjas or something, 7 assassins. This is fantastic, and it looks like it's going to. We are going to go watch that.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm massive on westerns anyway. Like,
yeah.
I've always had a soft spot for them because I used to watch them when I was a kid, and you used to have like a western on Channel 4 like every Sunday. I think
there was, yeah.
And I absolutely just loved it. So. I can't
It reminded me of like the Avengers, but cowboys.
Yeah,
you know, they're all like coupled together.
Yeah.
They're all slightly different. They've got their own things to bring. And
it's got that guy from Daredevil in Kingpin. He was the one that said was the tracker.
He was in Jurassic World as well.
Yeah, he was in Jurassic World. Yeah, so we've got people who've definitely interacted before and worked together, so this should be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the last trailer then, gents, and this is The Mechanic 2.
The principal I represent has an offer for you. Each death must look like an accident. Your specialty, I believe.
I'm not doing his kills. I've been waiting too long to get even with you.
You have 36 hours to eliminate all the targets on this list. Or they will eliminate me.
There's no sign of the intruder, Mr. Adams.
That's because he's sitting right in front of me here in the safe room, jack off.
I spent my whole life setting people up to die. And set you up to live.
Put your hands up. Can I testify? Go on, give me your witness if you ride or die.
I want to help you avoid an accident.
What do you have in mind?
You'll have to die.
I never imagined that dying would be so dead invigorating.
Guns blazing in the dead of the night. Hands raised, can I testify? Can I testify? Oh, tell me, can I? I want to testify.
They're a lot less, aren't they?
So am I.
Put your hands up.
I've bored the shit out of me.
Gotta be honest, right?
I mean, shit,
that looks like the type of film that when I've had a few the night before, and I wake up on a Sunday, I just want to watch something like that because it's just mush.
I hate films like that. I'm really not. I'm not an action film guy. If there's capes in it, if there's superheroes in it, that's the action films that I like.
So if he'd been wearing a cape that whole time,
if he was a superhero, I'd go see that. But I'm very surface level when it comes to my action films, and that looks so boring. I'm beginning to think that Jessica Alba and Jason Statham are robots because they don't age, do they? They look exactly the same. But no, that really did nothing for me at all.
You've got
Tommy Lee, you know.
Tommy Lee Jones, yeah, what the hell is he doing in this? And why has he got such a terrible goatee?
I know, it's awful. He looks like he's wearing a disguise
It
from
does.
a pound shop.
I mean, and you can see the amount of green screen in it, but it does. I mean, you say mush. Sometimes I like mush.
I like mush.
I think I like
I'm
mush.
not knocking it.
mush.
I will definitely watch that film at some point.
My time is precious, and I only watch. I only watch.
You're not terminal.
I only watch good films with my time I have.
I would disagree.
Like Suicide Squad
4 times.
I mean, I you're looking at that film and you're saying, right, okay,
that's 2 hours of
Jason Statham, like
kicking ass.
Yeah, and that.
Punching a gun into a guy's throat.
You could put any title over that film because it could be the Transporter. Do you know what I mean? It could be any of the Jason Statham action films. It's just the exact same film rehashed. Like,
Kissing
all
the
the time. Well, it's unbelievable. He gets away with it. Every director just goes, action film, Jason Statham, there you go. So,
So what the fuck am I doing in this fucking film?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
what
don't get me
you're going
wrong,
to do is you're going to drill into a pool in the sky.
He is almost like the Steven Seagal of the modern era. That's
Yeah?
what he is. Because he does shit action films that you will watch because, like, it's good action, like, but it's absolutely no like substance to it whatsoever.
But that's what action films are like
Well,
these days.
a lot of them, yeah, but you know, if you're going to talk like a good action film like Die Hard, then that is something that you can go back to and keep watching and blah 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 because there's more to it.
Has there been anything as good as Die Hard since Die Hard? Like,
Die Hard 2.
The Expendables 1 was really
I've
good.
not seen The Expendables. So
I bet if you watch that now, I don't think that would hold up anymore. I don't think it would.
No, I think that was.
I tried to watch Expendables 2, I think, and I got
the
bored
Expendables
halfway.
2 was shit. That's why. Because they suddenly, like, obviously, I think there's a third one now, is there?
I think there was, yeah.
The problem was when they did Expendables 1, it was like the action film of all action films. Stallone was in it. You know, you had all these like iconic action people.
And Jason Statham.
Obviously, yeah, but he was with Stallone, so he's let off completely in that film.
The dialogue in that film was horrible.
To me, I thought it was a really good action film. The first one, I thought the second one was like that. It suddenly lost what it was. And that it's a sequel to be a sequel, almost. You know, we've found something that's going to make us money here.
So will we be watching The Mechanic?
No,
I don't think I'll be going to watch it in the cinema. I'll put it that way. But if it's on a Sunday and I've had a bevy the night before,
that's going in the DVD basket.
It's definitely in the. I've just walked past it in Asda for £1. I'm going to pick it up category. I probably wouldn't even pay that. To be honest,
I would not pay.
It's source it elsewhere, but I can't say where.
Put it through as a plastic bag on the self-service.
Not for me.
Right. So we watched some trailers.
So let's talk about.
Going to the news.
The news. We haven't got a jingle for the news yet.
No, guys, do a jingle for the news.
That's I dream of Genie. I dream of news. So ask me for a jingle. That's the one that came in my head.
Who wants to go first on news? Because I've got news.
Well, you can tell me the news.
If you've got news, JB, tell us the news.
Yeah, I've got news. So, comic book sales hit nearly a 20-year high this August, all thanks in part to DC's Rebirth. Which has been predominantly stomping the market.
And I have helped out with those comic book sales.
I imagine I've seen a lot of people buying them. I've not bought any because I haven't had any money.
I've actually completely changed with a 180, and from buying exclusively Marvel and the odd Batman and Superman title, I've cut out Marvel completely from my pull list, and it's all DC now.
Back to DC again.
Yeah, back to DC.
Is that because DC obviously are getting the movie universe bang wrong, but in the comic states, are they actually like nailing everyone?
I've got to be honest, I've not read any of them yet.
Oh, there's a shocker. Yeah,
but JB has read Rebirth.
I have.
It,
yeah, no, I did. I read that first issue, and it was great.
Yeah.
But the thing is, everyone's saying the tone. What they've done is they've realised that the tone of the New 52, which was dark and gritty, didn't really work, and they still wanted to have this light tone about it. This, at the end of the day, you just have fun with them, have fun.
Yeah.
So DC have gone let's see if that works. You know what? It does. Having fun with these characters works. Sales are through the roof. But what do we do with this dark and gritty? Let's put it in our film universe. And the films are shite. But anyway, yeah. So
that's great news. I'm happy for them because it's discouraging when if their films are bombing, and people aren't enjoying them, but their comics are getting bang on. It's like,
The
well, that's
Flash
what they
has
are.
been the big one.
The DC Comics, that's what they've done. They've made comics for all these years, not films. And so that makes me happy. I'm glad about that. And I'm going to eventually get caught up. Because at the moment, I'm reading all the books that are leading up to that point. Rebirth. So I've read all the Superman books now. I'm on the Justice League books. And when I get to like issue, like I think it's like 50 or something, is what leads on to Rebirth. So I'm going to be catching up and doing some reviews on all the Rebirth books.
I'll be buying the trades, so wait till I've bought the trades before sending me the reviews to edit.
Okay. So that's like
That's comic book news.
Yeah, so obviously that's like higher than it's ever been.
Not higher than it's ever been. The highest in 20 years.
Oh,
It's in 1996,
which is really good. Like I think, like obviously I don't buy them really. I've always said it's a bit weird. Like I genuinely love like comic books when I have read them, but I just don't go out
actively out and buy them.
I've got to say,
but it's good to hear that it's obviously, and I think you can sense how big it is at the moment because there's so much going on that's to do with comic books. All the films now are like out there and
TV shows,
so much more mainstream
it's
TV shows.
Massive, isn't it?
Yeah, and obviously even like the Comic Cons are getting bigger and bigger, and even Southport itself, where obviously we're from, just had a Comic Con.
Yeah, I went there yesterday and filmed some stuff, which is going to be up on the YouTube channel soon.
What was there?
There was lots of people there.
There
was lots of
people, you say?
There was lots of people dressed up as Deadpool and Harley Quinn. I actually played Count the Harleys. I totaled over 20.
Oh my word.
Count the Deadpools was a little bit less, but no, it was fun. I mean, it was nowhere near as big as like Wales Con or Leeds Con or Blackpool Con, but it was a nice starting point for them. It was cool. There wasn't very many comics though, funny enough. We had a Comic Con. There was one stall that was selling comics.
That's annoying.
So what was there? Like, was there any like guests?
Yeah, there
was known.
There was some guests there.
Everyone but Peter Davidson.
Peter Davidson pulled out, so the big gun wasn't there. So I didn't get to meet Doctor Who. But I met a few other artists and writers, and I met Harry Potter's stunt double. And I met a few other people, some people from Game of Thrones.
What's below Z-list? Do you know what I
mean? This guy might listen to this, okay? He was a drug addict in the bill as well, so light your pipe and smoke it. The funny thing was, he won't fucking listen to this. I was stuck there sort of like, on IMDb, like, what the fuck can I say to this guy? And I was like, what's he been in? He's been a drug addict in the bill. He's been a drug addict in Holby City as well. What else?
Is this Harry Potter's stunt double?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't really like the idea of going up to someone and going, oh my god, you were that drug addict in the bill? I fucking love you.
Abby said to me, you so should have done that, because he would have thought that was funny, but I thought I might have been making fun of him or something.
Yeah.
But then I saw something, he's in Guardians of the Galaxy. And I saw a picture, and he was the alien. That's my favourite knife guy. And
was he? That was my favourite knife.
Yeah, I was like, oh fuck
really?
Yeah, I could speak to him about that. And he had the picture there and everything, and I was like interviewing him. And I was like, and you were in the Guardians of the Galaxy. That's my favourite knife guy. And he was like, no, I wasn't. And I was like, but I'm sure that's the guy. And he was like, no, we just look very similar aliens. And I was like, oh.
So he didn't get any. So he actually didn't have that line.
So you should have gone for the bill line.
Yeah. Which alien were you? I was in the background taking drugs.
I hope the guy doesn't listen.
He's got drug addict nailed, doesn't he, really?
Yeah.
He pigeonholed himself into that category.
He does look very gaunt.
Maybe he's an actual drug addict, and he's paying for his habit by doing extras work.
But there was people from Game of Thrones there as well, which I was honest about. I was like
background characters. Or
you know what? I can't remember who they actually were. One of them was a White Walker.
God!
And one of them was
the ones that don't speak.
Some beefcake guy. He was like.
I mean, who actively wants to meet these people? That's what I don't understand. I mean, it's great, like we said, it's great that they're having a Comic Con, and it's great that they're getting people together and socialising. That's grand, that's lovely. But at the same time, who's booking this? The Muppets had a better lineup, back in the early 70s.
Let's not pull Southport Comic Con to pieces.
This is meant to be haven't they done well?
Well, they did. I imagine they did well. I just think you can do better than the drug addicts from Holby City. That's
How was that comic as well? What was he there for?
He was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, he said he was... Oh, right, he was a different guy. I thought you meant he put a picture about that, and he wasn't even in it. Just like, oh, well, you know.
It's just, that's all I'm saying. There's quality over quantity.
Yeah.
I think that would have been, people would have still have gone that if you would have filled it up with, there'll be loads of stalls with posters, there'll be loads of creative workshops, maybe people teaching you how to draw, maybe people saying maybe even a businessman there saying how to set up your own comic book shop. I don't know, these are just some ideas, but not the shadow of Harry Potter.
People still would have been there regardless if those guests were there or not.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, they were selling pictures of them and stuff, you know, to pay £10 to get your picture with
Was
them.
the White Walker dressed like a White Walker?
With the guy from the fucking bill, he's charging £10 a fucking picture. I wouldn't even pay £10 to fucking watch the bill.
And here's the shoes that used to walk away in the credits.
You know what the funniest thing about that guy was? I'm so sorry if this guy ever listens to this. I can't even remember his name. I'm really sorry, but he was in The Force Awakens. And I was like, shit, he was in The Force Awakens as an alien dude, right?
It's a bit of a drug problem.
And he had this little tablet in front of him and all these pictures of his character from The Force Awakens. And on the tablet was playing the scene that he was in. Right. And he was describing to this little family that were crowded around his store. And he said, oh, if you look now, you can see me. I'm in a costume. Look now, look. And you literally just see the back of him walk past the camera like this, like having a little wiggle. And he goes, it was really good, yeah. And I was like, all right. And he's like, oh, it was based on a concept art from the 70s. Originally, Greedo was meant to be with this character. And they, recast it. He had like the whole story.
This background to a nothing moment.
And it was literally just a walk-on part in a furry costume. And he's selling all these pictures. And to be fair, I'm a hardcore Star Wars fan. And if I had money to throw about, I probably would have got his signature on my DVD because he was on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just, for literally the sake of that. But, I also met the guy who played the Silence in Harry Potter. Not Harry Potter. What am I talking about? See, I've forgotten about it already.
Yeah.
In Doctor Who.
Just make a mark on your arm. That's that guy from the drug problem.
I was interviewing. I was interviewing everybody, and I went up to him. I was like, right, I'll get his thoughts and his answers on my questions. And I just introduced myself and I said, Chris, I'm filming for Talk Nerdy to Me YouTube channel. Is it alright if I ask some questions? And he was like, nah, you know what, I don't want to be on YouTube. And I was already filming at this point.
I know, right?
I was already filming at this point and it was really awkward and I just kind of went, oh right, so I guess it's best if I don't film you then. And then just sort of put the camera down and I just went, well, I would have forgotten that I saw you anyway.
You get shit in the bill.
So that was the Silence guy.
Oh, right.
No, that's what I mean. The Silence guy didn't want to be filmed. He didn't want to
be... Did he say why?
No, he didn't say why. He just said he didn't want to be filmed. He didn't want to be on YouTube.
Because that's how the Silence get defeated, remember? The video goes round and go, you might as well kill us all on sight!
So he's actually the Silence in real life?
See, the Silence, that same guy, that's the White Walker.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but that was Southport Comic Con.
Fucking what kind of actor goes, oh, I don't want to be recorded?
I don't know, it was quite odd.
Fucking, what concept is that?
Especially, you would think...
At a Comic Con?
Yeah, if he's in the pub with his family, then yeah, fair enough. He's
Chris going up, going, "Oh, are you the Silence lad?" Excuse me, I'm trying to have a very still.
Comic Con, surely he would expect people to come up and want a photo or want a video with him or something. It just seems very bizarre.
It was a bit odd. He was a grumpy bastard. And then there was a lot of writers there and artists, comic books, which was cool. The creator of 2000 AD and Judge Dredd, he was there.
Oh, was he?
That's quite good.
And they had props around him, like the bike, and there was a couple of people dressed up as Judge Dredd, and that was pretty cool. But yeah, like I say, it wasn't huge, but it was cool for what it was. For Southport, it was cool.
Yeah.
So that was
that sort of Southport
Comic Con.
Another bit of the news. So you've probably all seen this. So the management of Henry Cavill have confirmed that a Man of Steel sequel is in development, which we're all really stoked about. Not why are they even bothering with this? They've got a Justice League film coming out. which they have to do.
I mean,
they do not need another Superman film.
He's
the
like
first one kind of bombed, and like.
Don't you dare use a hammer.
I'm totally you.
Use a hammer,
basically,
no!
For everyone listening, I haven't got a bottle opener, but I have bottles of beer, and the answer to that is for me to open it with a hammer. So
he doesn't smash it. He kind of gets. Well, you aim it that way.
I'll aim it wherever it goes. Really.
If you follow me on Snapchat, you'll be able to watch this moment.
Oh, he got me shirt. Can't win. I've got to lie on that.
The beer is now open. You'll be happy to know.
The Chris W85, and you'll be able to see that moment on Snapchat.
So
that's how a real man opens his beer.
What were we? I can't remember where we were.
Superman.
That's unforgettable. Right, Superman.
We don't care about a sequel.
We don't need another sequel. It's
honestly,
just
though, right?
I know it wasn't that bad.
I don't think it was that bad. I thought it was a very average film.
Man of Steel, you mean the first one?
Yeah.
It
wasn't terrible. I honestly
There's just a lot going on.
It was as some people have said it was quite a dull movie. I don't think it was dull as such, but it is DC though, isn't it? They just don't seem to be able to bring that aspect of fun to their movies.
Going to try with Justice League.
Yeah.
You know, they're trying to do the whole Marvel comedy. You know,
and that looked painful.
But to me, I'm a huge Superman fan. I love the comic books and I love the original Superman films, as we've discussed. But to me, I've had enough of Henry Cavill already. I just really don't like him as Superman, and I don't want to see more of him. I don't even want to see him in the Justice League film. Let alone a sequel.
I feel like he's almost been picked for that role purely based on his looks.
Exactly.
Like, he's not actually been picked out because he can bring, there's a difference. Like, when they looked at Robert Downey Jr., they went, not only can that guy look like Tony Stark, he can act like Tony Stark. Henry Cavill, so far, has represented to me the personality of a brick.
Yeah, so that's the Superman news. The next bit of news I'm going to discuss with you is Margot Robbie, executive producing a Suicide Squad spin-off for Warner Brothers. The film's going to feature Harley Quinn as a centre figure, and it's also going to feature Batgirl and the Birds of Prey, which I'm really excited about because I love the Birds of Prey.
Who are the Birds of Prey? I'm going to even hold my hand up on this. Is this like
DC superhero females? Like, it's basically, you've got Batgirl. She's now crippled in a wheelchair due to the Killing Joke.
Yeah.
She's called the Oracle now. She's basically like the head of this organisation where she just she researches everything. She's just got technology at her fingertips, so she's in charge. And she's got all these. She's got the Huntress. She's got Spoiler. She's got all these other female superheroes.
Wait, Spoiler a character or Spoiler? You're gonna
Spoiler the character.
What the fuck is Spoiler? She go on the back of a Ford Escort.
She's boss. She wears like a pink hood, and you've got
pink hood.
It fits all dirty to me.
They're I love Birds of Prey, and I've got a lot of the comic books. Got a lot of time for them. I think they're great, and it's going to be awesome to see them on screen. So I'm excited about
that. I'm going to write about I'm going to try and predict who Batgirl's going to be played by. I've got some ideas in my head.
So I don't know whether they're going to go down the whole route of sort of retelling the Killing Joke for the purpose of her becoming Oracle. I don't know what they're going to do. Are they going to have her as Batgirl for a little bit, and then she gets shot, and then she's in a wheelchair? I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm actually really excited for that.
So is it going to be called Suicide Squad, or is it just an absolute spin-off?
It's not got a title yet, but basically the selling point is going to be Harley Quinn's in it.
Suicide Squad are getting a sequel, though, aren't they?
I think, right, I'm going to say this now, that Harley Quinn is going to be this thing they use all the time now. And I don't like that. Don't get me wrong, I didn't really like that movie. I'll be honest. I think I've said that before.
Yeah, you fucking have, like me.
I thought Margot Robbie was okay in it. And obviously everyone's gone nuts about Harley Quinn, the character now. Mm-hmm. And I just think it's going to be overly used because it was so successful as a character.
So, they are going to really push it because they know how successful it has been.
Exactly, but that's not good, I don't think.
Can you give me an example of when someone's done this before?
When they've used Spider-Man? Fucking hell. It's been touted out how many times?
That's a good point.
That's a good point. I'll give you that one, Spider-Man.
But Harley Quinn's so fresh and new to the cinematic universe. I think that, and with Margot Robbie executive producing this, I've got a lot of faith in it. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, because she actually really, she genuinely loved the character.
Yeah.
Apparently, on the set of Suicide Squad, didn't she send dead? No, that was it. Jared Leto, as the Joker, sent a dead mouse to each one of the cast members.
Yeah.
As the Joker, to welcome them to the madness that was to be Suicide Squad. But all the rest, everyone freaks out. Margot Robbie appreciated it and sent him something back just as weird and creepy.
They properly embrace that.
They do. They like. So I'll give.
Apparently, he never broke character on set.
No, he never.
I heard about that. Yeah.
Will Smith said he's never met Jared Leto until the actual red carpet.
I've just got a couple of extra bits of news that I'd like to discuss.
Okay.
We put up on the Talk Nerdy Instagram the latest image from the Justice League film. Of Batman and his new bat suit with his bat goggles.
His bat goggles!
And he looks exactly like Night Owl from Watchmen.
This is going to be shite. I'm not Justice League is not going to be shite. I don't understand all these people, all these reviewers I'm seeing going, and they've seen the same trailer that me and you have seen, and you've seen, and they're going, you know what, that bit with the Flash and Bruce Wayne, that looks like that's going to be hilarious. No, it doesn't. It looks awful.
I honestly hated that trailer with passion.
Yeah, I'm so glad. We agree on something, man.
Yeah.
It looks terrible, doesn't it? It looks really cringy.
I hate what they've done with Batman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honest to God, if this is going to be the first, I know we got Ben Affleck in the Batman vs Superman one, and I was really excited about the Batman aspect for it. I was bring me some more of that.
That was cool.
What Matt's showing me, I absolutely despise it. I think it's an accident waiting to happen, that film.
I'm holding out hope for the Batman solo film, which leads us on to the next bit of news, which is Deathstroke. We know for sure that Deathstroke's going to be in the Batman solo film.
I like that.
And Joe Magdaleno.
Which one's Deathstroke? Is this the one that looks a bit like Deadpool?
Deadpool ripped him off. Officially,
Marvel basically ripped off Deathstroke and called him Deadpool instead, and called him Slade Wilson was Wade Wilson.
Yeah.
So they basically completely ripped it off. It was a tongue-in-cheek thing.
Yeah.
But they've cast Joe Magdaleno. I don't know if that's how you say his surname, but he is best known for playing Flash Thompson in Sam Raimi's original Spider-Man film. And he was also in Magic Mike XXL apparently, but I would not know.
I like
the
this idea
love him. He's a treat for the eyes. He is quite a hunky.
I think look at the age of him, and then you've got to look at the age that Bruce Wayne's being played at, and you've also got to take into account that character is the opposite of Deadpool in the sense that he has no fucking sense of humour. That is got that. Now I know that we've said that they should maybe stay away from dark and gritty. DC should say, but for Batman films, you actually shouldn't. Batman films should be dark and gritty. That's what made Batman so special in the DC universe. All these have Superman, he can fly, he can do this, and the other ones, although that one can talk to fish and do shit.
The other ones,
yeah. Well, but then you have Batman brooding in the corner, and that was what was interesting. It was a different corner. They could really get this bang on.
I'm excited for it. I think it's an interesting cast. It's an interesting casting.
Didn't he once defeat the entire Justice League nearly?
Who, Deathstroke?
Yeah.
He's a force to be reckoned with. He is.
So
this leads us into my question I have for both of you, and you've.
All right, so hold on. I was going to say. So now we're going to begin then the questions.
Question time. Talk Lady question time.
Done so as BBC.
So this casting about Deathstroke leads us into this question. So what do you think has been the most perfect casting in a superhero film? They were born to play that role.
Easy one for me.
I know what you're going to say. But
Heath Ledger as the Joker.
Oh right,
really?
Honestly, knocked it out the park, didn't he? Really?
See, I've got a list here of what I think is perfect casting choice, and I considered Heath Ledger, but to me he wasn't born to play that role. I don't know. I love that performance. It's one of the best performances of all time. But to me, when you think Heath Ledger,
hold on. Well, I was going to say before you start knocking down each ones. So you're saying Heath Ledger.
I would definitely say that.
What would you say?
Oh, we've got to pick one.
Well, yeah, that's a question.
I've got a list of loads here.
Well, okay. If I was to pick
I'm going to go for one. Can I go for one before you say my answer?
Go on.
Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. That's what I'm going for.
That is a good one.
That's a strong one.
He was born to play. He is Deadpool.
Oh God, I hate the fact you just You've just said that.
Really?
Well, no, I hate the fact because it's a good card to play. I'm gonna go with a different route because I think you've gone for fun. You've gone for a bit of fun. I'm gonna go for underrated. I'm gonna go for Sir Ian McKellen as Magneto.
No,
I know. Now hear me out. No. I actually
crumbling in the corner. What's he done? It's like a bad fart.
In fact,
uncoloring.
You can. It's easy. I think you've gone for obvious choices. I think. So if I had said to you, like back in the day, Sir Ian McKellen. Like in the 90s, if we went, he'll be in an X-Men film. He's going to be like, you'd be like, nah, what? He's going to be on like in a comic book film. No, he wouldn't do that. Not only has he done that, he's what makes the X-Men films actually interesting because they're not always on par, but Magneto is always the best force in that. And it's him conflicting with Charles Xavier, which, by the way, picking Captain Picard for his actual best mate in real life to play that role. That shows they were born. They as a force were born to play that, and that was what was worried. They were worried about rebooting X-Men because they're like, we need to keep these out. They even brought them back in. Yeah. They made the Times into it because Sir Ian McKellen as Magneto just end off. I think you could have gone for Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark. Yeah, but I think that's too obvious. I think you've gone. I know that's a good card, but I think again it's too obvious, and time will tell on that because whether if they do another one,
just look at his Twitter account, the way he tweets. That guy is hilarious. He is Deadpool. What I was going to say about Sir Ian McKellen, he was born to be Gandalf. Like
no, he wasn't.
Yeah, I would go with that.
He was born to be Gandalf, not Magneto.
Much stronger a character.
Yeah. I don't even think of him as Gandalf. I
always think of him as Gandalf.
Yeah,
to be fair,
it's Gandalf.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
So
you're wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong, John. No, like I said about Heath Ledger, it's an outstanding performance, one of the best performances of all time. But I think of him in Brokeback Mountain. I think of him in.
Why do you think of him in Brokeback Mountain? Why is that the first place you go? I like to think of him in Brokeback Mountain.
It's one of my favourite films. I love that film. It's
Shut the front door.
Powerful, emotive.
Shut the back door.
Superb.
Oh dear. No, it's a powerful, emotive, very
phallus of a movie.
It's a brilliant film. I love it, and his performance in it is fantastic. So to me, he can play many different roles, and he embodies the character, and he really did take on that role of the Joker, and he turned himself pretty much insane because of it. That was one of the reasons.
I think that's why I picked it, though. It's just he just took that role and just got so immersed in it that whenever someone mentions Heath Ledger to me, I always think of that.
Yeah.
But you're not always thinking of that because that was just his last performance.
Well, no, I just think it was absolutely brilliant.
If we're talking here about best performance in a comic book film, that would win hands down.
Yeah.
I'm talking about who was born to play that role, and why I say Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool is because he in his day-to-day general life, the way he acts, he's on a Sky advert, isn't he now, or something, or he's on all different ways.
He almost is Deadpool in his character.
Yeah, exactly. Like everything I see him in now, every time I see a tweet, every time I see him in an interview, he is that character. He is Deadpool.
Right, well, I'm going to argue back.
When I read Deadpool comic books, it's his voice that I hear.
I'm going to say that I can picture other people playing. I can't picture someone playing aged Magneto as well as Ian McKellen.
You've got to drop this.
No. I'm going to say, for you, Deadpool, if you just took a younger Jim Carrey, would have done that.
No.
Early 90s Jim Carrey would have done that.
No.
And you're one.
No one else could have played Deadpool.
And Heath Ledger, he's one of many Jokers. And Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, I can kind of see where you're going with that. I'll back down like you should.
I don't know. I think that's below the belt. That.
What?
He's one of many Jokers.
No, I get what he's saying though. It's because there's been other Jokers that are also so good.
Yeah.
But I think he was the best one.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Are you backing down then?
I'll back down. I would probably say that you have won on this one.
Winner!
Shocker!
You didn't even enter the race, to be fair.
I did put Ian McKellen.
So
time will tell on that number. Time will tell. You see in about 5 years when Deadpool the sequel doesn't take off. It's terrible.
Oh, but no.
And you know what?
Be one of the best films
Ian
of all
McKellen
time.
dies, and in the thing where they say, "Oh, people we've lost this year," they show a picture of him as Magneto.
No, there was Gandalf. Yeah.
Right.
So, just a few of the other choices that I had.
Go on.
Were Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, Tony Stark, obviously.
That was too obvious.
Chris Evans as Captain America.
No, I'm not going with that.
I like I like that casting choice.
I think it's a good casting choice, but I just don't think he was born to play it.
Ben Affleck as Batman.
No.
Okay.
I don't think you can get that yet anyway, because he's not had a solo film yet.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
How did we miss that? I was close. I was a few people away.
I also, I'm not a massive fan of the X-Men films.
Yeah.
And even when I watched the newer one, he's only in it for 5 minutes.
But he's
isn't
awesome.
He's
great,
fucking hell, mate. That's the best bit of that film by a
is,
stretch when he...
Can I go back and say Hugh Jackman?
Say it in case it's a bit of a spoiler.
I've also got Tom Hiddleston as Loki.
Oh, that is a good one, actually. But whether I'd say he's born to play it, I think maybe that character was made to be played by Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
But whether Tom Hiddleston was born to play Loki is a different one.
And then two more. Jack Nicholson as the Joker.
Yeah.
See, to me, he was born to be the Joker.
I don't know.
And then the final one, J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson.
Thinking outside the box. From the Spider-Man films, the editor of the actual newspaper, J. Jonah Jameson, Parker, get me... that is
I want pictures of Spider-Man.
I want pictures of Spider-Man.
And
Stop
now
sending me nudes.
He's going to play
Commissioner Gordon.
Commissioner Gordon in Justice League.
Oh, that's getting messy. So, my question that I prepared was... What year was the best year for films? Because I think all the films this year have been frickin' bland mostly. There's been hardly any, but that's another thing in itself. However, I wanted to pick what was the best year for films.
This is a very tricky question, very difficult to
swear
choose.
to God, this is like one of them things that when you first said it, I thought, that'll be easy.
Yeah, same.
I'll look at a film and I'll look at a year in the 80s. That's probably the one.
Yeah.
And then I started looking at films in literally, but year by year, in each film that was the biggest films of that year and stuff. And I have got the biggest list, mate, of years. I can't even comprehend.
I'm going to play.
You chose a year?
I don't think I have.
No, I've chose a year.
I'm going to choose.
I had two that I was very close, and I will explain my choice.
Well, I'm going to go straight up with 1999.
Okay, so let's get 1999 up.
1999 up. Now, I'll just read you some of them. I've got lots of them here. I'll read you some of the at least just the blockbusters, right? So you've got The Matrix, Sixth Sense, American Beauty, Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, American Pie, Fight Club, Blair Witch. If you want to go a bit more, a bit deeper down, you've got the South Park movie came out. Eyes Wide Shut came out. That was a Stanley Kubrick film. The best of the Toy Stories came out. Toy Story 2. Don't argue with me that.
Toy Story 2 was okay.
In even the comedies, you had Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, the best one of the Austin Powers films. For all the girls, you had Notting Hill. And for your cheesy ones, you had The Mummy. How good was The Mummy back when you first watched it back then? Does it hold up? Maybe not, but then it's fucking awesome. And then underrated films of that year, and that have maybe gone on to become more iconic in some way. Office Space came out that year.
Yeah.
Analyze This, Iron Giant, Deep Blue Sea, Detroit Rock City, the Kiss film.
Was that 1999?
It was, yeah. Bicentennial Man, Bowfinger, which was Steve Martin and...
Bowfinger!
No. Steve Martin and Eddie Murphy at the finest. The Bone Collector. Pokemon, the film came out then. Sleepy Hollow. Man on the Moon, a particular favourite of Gaz's, I know. And the only two films I could think were crap, but at the time did well. One of them did well. Star Wars Episode 1 came out, which everyone went nuts for at the time. And Will Smith made the worst choice of his life with Wild Wild West.
Wicka wicka wah.
What do you mean?
I love that film.
It's fucking shite.
It is fucking lovely.
That's another fight in itself, right? That's another question. But all right, there you go. You like that film?
It's good, bad. I think.
Right, but there you go. 1999. Nothing can beat that.
That is awesome.
Honestly, it's an amazing list. When you read them out like that, you can't argue it's a good year for film. Because it clearly is. It's got so many good things in there. And one you missed was Cruel Intentions, actually.
Oh, no, I've got it written down, though. Yeah, I did, Cruel Intentions.
And Dogma.
And Dogma, yeah.
The argument I would have is, I've got so many years where if I read out the films,
it would
be exactly the same impact. Because, honestly, I'm obviously a massive fan of, like, movies anyway. So, for me, every year's a good...
Every year's a good harvest.
Can I say my year?
So
now?
you go for your.
You go for your. I think you're being a pussy about this.
I'll pick one.
Okay.
I will pick one.
Chris, your year.
So I originally, for me, it's not the longest list of films.
It's how you use the list.
Exactly. It's just the substance. So originally, I had two that I was going to pick. I was going to go for straight away. I saw like one of my favourite films of all time. Empire Strikes Back, 1980. We're talking about here. You know, we've got probably my favourite horror film of all time, The Shining. You got Elephant Man, The Flash Gordon, Raging Bull, and one of my favourite horrors, Friday 13th. And I was like, shit, well that covers all aspects, you know. I like all those films for different reasons, got different genres there. So I was going to pick 1980 solely for the fact that Empire Strikes Back was in there. But then I saw a short list in the year I was born, 1985, but this four little films, Back to the Future, The Goonies, Breakfast Club and Weird Science.
What year was that?
1985. Like, those four films, four of my favourite films of all time. And I'm going to say 1985 for that reason. They all capture, like, it's a nostalgia thing for me, that I think. Very much a nostalgia thing. And it might not be the list as long as yours, but to me, like, those four films are heavy hitters. Like, so I'm going to say 1985.
1985, right? I'd get your phone out and I'd do a bit more research on that because four films.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm confident
don't get me
wrong.
wrong. Those four films are spectacular. To be fair, like if
they are all
went,
very 80s, though. You know,
if you can imagine, like, being at the age where you could be going to the cinema in that year. And seeing all of those four films in the cinema, what a special year that'd be. Do you get what I mean? I can see where he's going, like, because that's unbelievable.
You can't beat those.
Give me that. Let me look at them.
But I've picked one.
Okay.
Now I've picked one purely on the basis that I think it has got something for every pocket. If you get what I mean? Yeah. Like, you know, it's got good funny. It's got good, like, proper, you know, like, film.
I think I know the one you're going to choose.
So I'm going with 1994.
Oh, 94.
Oh.
Like, in this year that I've got Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
I mean...
Best film of all time.
Yeah,
probably.
It's rated as one of the best films.
Yeah, best film of all time.
If not the best, I think. I think it's always close to it anyway. It's always a tie between that and The Godfather.
On IMDb, it's number 1 is Shawshank and number 2 is Godfather, I think.
And then Pulp Fiction, which is just... I know you're not a fan of Tarantino,
no,
but
that is one of the best films.
That's why I couldn't pick that year, because of Tarantino.
Forrest Gump. Again, I mean...
A film you can relate to.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
Leon.
That is a good year. Actually,
that
was my choice.
No, it wasn't. Yours was 1985 and 1980.
I was going through the list and I was thinking about the ones that I wanted, and then I was like, I had a clever answer for things that covered all bases. And this was the one. This is the one that I was meant to go for. I'm backing out.
Oh, Chris is out already.
I'm out already. Gaz hasn't even finished the list because I know that this is the one that I was meant to choose. So not 1985. The best year in movies is 1994.
Oh, no, carry on the list.
I can't remember what I was up to. You've got Leon, which is just another classic. If you've never seen it, it's
Natalie Portman when she was a kid.
And I can't remember the name of the guy who plays Leon now, but it is fantastic. You would fucking love it, I think.
Yeah,
The Lion King. So
that's the best Disney film of all time.
Oh, mate, I love the Disney animations, and I don't think there's been one better than the Lion King.
You got
I don't even think it's come close.
No, it's just the way you said. I like Disney films. I know that they're doing live action now, but I like the Disney animations. I like the Disney animations. They're moving pictures.
I thought Frozen was okay, but I don't think there's been as good a film
as Lion King.
Nothing compares to that, really.
True Lies, if you like a bit of Arnie.
Oh!
You've got to have Arnie in there, haven't you?
In your list.
Arnie in there.
Do I have an Arnold film?
Do you have an Arnold film?
You've got to have a bit of an Arnie. And that, again, for me, is just one of those films that when I first saw that film, I was blown away. And it's not a massively thought of film, that.
No, it's one of those
kind of
underrated.
Yeah, I think.
I'm going to quickly look. Did Arnie do a film?
Interview with a Vampire.
Oh, nice. Got a bit of vamps in there.
Yeah.
Speed, the original.
Yeah. See, that's a good action film.
And then for the ladies, you've got 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
Right.
You sly bastard.
And 4 Weddings beats your Notting Hill.
And then I'm going to bring the comedy into this. After all of those iconic films, you've then got The Mask.
Oh, The Mask! I love The Mask.
And Ace Ventura.
Yes.
The Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
He was busy.
He was.
That was Jim Carrey at his peak.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would say.
Yeah.
Clerks.
Yeah.
Bringing in Kevin Smith's first outing.
Sick.
And for the kids, Little Giants. I don't know whether you've ever seen it.
No.
It's my favourite ever kids film.
Really?
I absolutely love it. It's probably shit.
Oh, God.
It is probably shit. I'm putting that out there. But
hold on. Well, yeah, carry on.
Because it's boss. And it's got, the guy from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Well, Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis, yeah. He's in it. So, that's just kid film, that, innit?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
That's the list finished.
In 1999, Arnold did End of Days.
Right, well, you've just
not as good as True Lies.
No. But in 94, you are skipping, sir, because I even acknowledge that there's a couple of little bad films in my year. In your year, for starters, Arnold did Junior, the film about a man getting pregnant.
What a fucking film!
Nothing happens in that film. Nothing happens.
He gets
it's
pregnant.
amazing.
No, it's not. It's a man.
I don't like that film.
No, a man gets pregnant. A man gets pregnant through some weird thing that they decide to do to help pregnancy, right? Okay. And then when was the last time you watched the film? Because there are no jokes in this film. Arnold is pregnant. There could be tons. There is literally him sitting there going, my nipples
It's the DeVito Schwarzenegger combo.
No,
are you insane?
That film made such an impact on my life. I actually had a dream the other night that I was pregnant. That's how much Junior impacted on my life.
I can't believe you've gone down that route of trying to say Junior's a bad film.
I mean, check it out on that.
At that point, you lose, JB.
No, you can't do that. I made a very good point there.
You shouldn't have Googled Arnold. You shouldn't have done it because you
That's
lost.
the second time in my life that's come back to bite me in the ass. No, I'm telling you now that I just cannot. I cannot actually believe. All right, here's some more terrible ones from '94. The Flintstones. Jesus Christ, that was a mess.
I enjoyed that film thoroughly.
You know what? If you've already made your mind that I've lost, I'm gonna just be as controversial as fucking say Dumb and Dumber. That was shite as well.
I love Dumb and Dumber.
That was shite.
No,
you are literally drowning in a sea of
Do you know
shit.
why? Do you know why Dumb and Dumber 2 didn't work? Because Dumb and Dumber isn't actually funny.
I'm sorry, it is.
When was the last time you went and watched that?
You don't like fart jokes, and that's why I love Dumb and Dumber, and you don't.
Star Trek Generations.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
But I would happily sit and watch Star Trek Generations in that bundle of movies.
Baby's Day Out.
TBH. What the fuck was wrong with that, by the way?
If we had to choose...
Sorry, no. Baby's Day Out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baby's Day Out.
Yeah.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
So if we had to choose between... If we could only watch... If our DVD collection...
that's a good way of putting it.
Of all these films and all these films, which one would you pick? I'd pick Gaz's... The year 1990.
I want to argue back, though, that I would say the reason my year is more important, the reason my year is better, is because all mine were nearly in some way pivotal, right? And I'll point out, right? So I'll start with the main man, The Matrix. From that point on, films changed. the way they were shot, the way they were scripted, that changed. It literally changed the entire CinemaScope. Yeah, that happened. Number 2, I'll go through them. Toy Story 2 was proof that you could do a sequel good
Toy
and
Story
animated.
1 was already good.
No, it was because people. Who thought they were going to do Toy Story 2?
I know you love it the best, but it is the lowest rated.
It was the Pixar train carrying on. Sixth Sense. That was again a game changer because it got M. Night Shyamalan noticed, which he's failed now. But at the time, he was really showing you can put twists at the end.
I don't know what you're on about there. He's just done Wayward Pines.
With what?
He was part of.
Oh no, film-wise though, mate, he's been fucking shite. Right. Anyway, Fight Club. That again changed how we view films and how they're shot. Blair Witch started off the whole found footage. American Pie got us all on a different. Like the whole comedy train, a different version. You know, the American party scene.
That wasn't original.
But they
could go back to 1979 and Animal House.
But no one was doing that.
What? What do you mean no one was doing that?
No one was doing that.
What?
Everyone went to see American Pie.
I told you, they just did it. In the 70s.
Shut up. Right, American Beauty.
Exactly.
American Beauty got everyone into
That was not original at all. That was just a modern version.
Catfish. American Beauty made people think outside the box and get them into independent films. Lock, Stock got people into British cinema, British films. Lock, Stock did that, all that. Yes, it did! Yes, it did!
And what am I hearing here?
It's a British film.
It's a British film. There's been British films for years.
Yeah, but it made people notice it.
Italian job.
It made people. Yeah, but that's what I mean. They've been dead for centuries, years. Dead for years. No one had been noticing.
Oh my god.
It had been your year, right? Your year.
Don't get me wrong, right?
Your year is the year of the block. Right, there was blockbusters, but there was nothing as varied as what.
Now I'm going to disagree.
I've never seen this. Never heard of it.
Exactly. That instantly makes it not right. Listen, you're right. You're arguing because some of these films in your year are pivotal and have been game changers. But this is the year, 1994, Gaz's year, where they were better films. And I'm sorry, I'm going personal preference. They're my favourite films in there compared to your. Yeah, they're game changers. They're good films, but in 1994, those films are better. More my favourites.
The uncultured swines. That's
the only thing I would say, right, is obviously I've picked that one. I mean, as I say, when I started looking into this, every year pretty much, there's obviously some gaps where there's been some years where it's been a little bit
like this
lightweight. Look, it's not the best year for film. I'm not going to say it's ever going to get close to the ones we've just mentioned.
Civil War was great.
But yeah, I obviously then made the list for this year so far.
Yeah, go on.
So, Deadpool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Obviously, this Mel Gibson film that I just did a review of, Bloodfather, is a fucking stunning film. The Nice Guys, if you haven't seen it yet, really good movie. Civil War. The Conjuring 2. It's a sequel, but it is really good. Oh, I thought it was anyway. I don't know whether you've seen The Shallows yet.
I saw the trailer.
I saw the trailer. It looked interesting.
I don't like Blake Lively at all. I can't stand her.
Well, she gets eaten by a shark, so you're happy enough.
Maybe I should watch it. Spoiler alert, by the
way. Blake not so lively.
The Jungle Book was a really good film.
The Jungle Book was great, yeah.
You didn't like it? You came out going, no, Christopher Walken can't be a monkey.
I didn't say I didn't like it. What I said was it wasn't as good as the original Jungle Book. If you remember, I parred it off in a competition, didn't I?
Yeah.
And it ended up losing 4-3, I think, to the original one.
I think it's very close with the original, but the remake has slightly got the edge on it because I can enjoy it more as an adult. I can sit down and watch the Jungle Book any day. I've got to be in a certain mood to watch that cartoon version.
Yeah.
But no, that was my favourite part in the Jungle Book when King Louis came out.
I hated it.
That was fucking boss, that.
I couldn't get past the fact that they made the film to be a bit more realistic, shall we say. Yeah, okay, you've got talking animals. I know it's not fucking realistic, but why was he so big? I just don't get it.
To give him to be a formidable foe.
Yeah.
And monkeys can get big.
He was Okay, make him slightly bigger. Make him King of the Monkeys.
Yeah.
That's fine. But he was bigger than the building he was sat in.
I like the idea.
I don't get it.
I like the idea.
He couldn't have moved.
A giant ape? We've never heard of that before.
They're so deep in the jungle.
I don't get it.
There could be like some form of mutant, like that's an interesting concept.
Right.
Oh, no.
I would argue.
Now, the
Anyway.
interesting thing about this year
right,
is we're discussing it halfway, well, slightly over halfway through the year, and we've still got a lot of films to go. Now, we've not hit peak Oscar season yet.
Right.
Because they only ever come out towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
Generally. It's usually October, November when you start getting the big hitters.
We've still got to come. We've still got Doctor Strange to come. We've still got Rogue One to come.
And I've listed a few.
Magnificent
Magnificent Seven, which we watched the trailer for before. There's a film called Sully, which is about the guy
from
pilot.
Monsters Inc.
It's the pilot who landed on the Hudson River. It's got Tom Hanks in it. That's getting good reviews. So I've not seen it yet, but looks good so far. War Dogs is getting really good reviews, which I haven't seen yet. There's a film called Hacksaw Ridge coming in November, which is supposedly going to be one of those that everyone's going to want to watch. Something to do with war or something. The Star Trek film, I haven't
why do we sign up? Something to do with war?
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's going to be like, the Saving Private Ryan almost.
Right.
Which, it's one of my favourite films.
That was one of the best war films of all time.
Star Trek Beyond, I've not seen yet. I'm hearing it's good, really good, in fact.
That's been out, dude.
Well, yeah, but I haven't seen it yet, that's what I mean.
I thought you were talking
I'm
about
saying,
ones
we're discussing films of this year, and I haven't seen any of these ones that are really big films.
Meant to be not the best of the trilogy, though. Probably the worst of the trilogy so far. But.
I honestly, I'm going to stick up for this year because although it's maybe not going to be the most iconic, I don't think if you ask this question next year, if you get what I mean, this wouldn't be.
It's no 1994.
It wouldn't be going for 1994.
It's not 1999. My point would be, though, that the reason I'm so disappointed so far is because, like you're saying, we've still got some movies to come out. But the ones you've said, you've even missed a couple of smash hits like Finding Dory, but not.
I've not seen that yet.
And Zootopia.
Zootopia, yeah.
But it's all, but they're all a little bit, because I think they are genuinely a little bit forgettable.
The problem I have with this year is there's a lot of 8s in there. None have really hit 9.
Or
apart
10.
from Deadpool.
See, I kind of disagree in a way because, Civil War and Deadpool for me were 10s. I absolutely love them. Zootropolis was a 10.
You gave Suicide Squad a fucking 8.
Suicide Squad was... Did I give Suicide Squad an 8? No, I gave it a fucking 10, I'm sure. No, sorry, I give it a 9.
Either way, it's too high.
But I have enjoyed the films that have come out this year solely for the fact that the superhero ones have been cool, and I like the kiddie ones.
But in 2013...
The problem I have with this year, more than anything, is the amount of flops that I have seen.
Hold on. Gary, there's pills you can take from that.
No, but, we've been to a few this year. Batman vs Superman really didn't live up to it. Ghostbusters was okay, but, again...
It was generally a flop.
Yeah.
I've not seen it, but...
Yeah, obviously you like Suicide Squad. I thought it was fucking...
knackering.
I thought it was a disaster, to be fair. I thought it made me tired watching it.
Made him flop.
So I think if you put all that in... It's not,
I think there's been films that have just been meh when you compare it to...
I do think you've got to look at it...
3 years ago? Look at 3 years ago, 2013. Frozen. Wolf of Wall Street, Captain Phillips, 12 Years a Slave, Hobbit, Associate Smoke, The Hunger Games. If you want to go a bit more independent stuff, like Warm Bodies was out as well, World's End, which was the one with Sam Pegg. Then you had the classic, Hollywood does it every so often, where they bring out 2 of the same film. Olympus Has Fallen and White House Down. Not since Armageddon and Deep Impact have 2 films been at odds to each other, but they were both good. Jurassic Park was re-released in 3D to celebrate its anniversary that year.
You count that.
I am.
Really?
Well, because they could have done something this year. And Star Trek Into Darkness, I liked that one. And World War Z.
I think that was a really good year.
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs
as well.
I love that film.
Hair was a really good film in 2013. American Hustle. The original Conjuring
Thor 2
and Great Gatsby as well. So, but this is what I'm saying. Like, I wrote this obviously big list of like all of the films that were iconic in certain years, and you know, how many years have you got there? And I think that shows the strength of the film industry. I think it gets pelters sometimes because of the amount of remakes it does, the amount of reboots it does. But fucking hell, I mean, if you actually sift through it, how many iconic films come out in every single fucking year? And that is maybe the one disappointment with this year. Is
there's nothing iconic.
There's nothing there that you would think, well, that is the standout movie. Now, obviously, we've got a little bit of time left to go, but at the moment, it's not looking like there's going to be one. And I think that is disappointing.
I'm hoping Magnificent Seven pulls it around.
You know, if you think of even last year, you had The Revenant, which was, everyone was like, oh my god, what a film. There hasn't really been one of them this year yet. And that is disappointing. But I think there is time. I think this Hacksaw Ridge is supposedly could be the one.
I'm just worried that the rest of these films are just going to all end up as... I mean, you mentioned The Nice Guys.
Yeah, it's a lot of them are nearly
there. Like I said, 7 and 8.
Yeah.
I have no problem with these films. It's just there's nothing actually tickling my pickle.
So when this year ends, we'll go back and tickle our pickles and decide our favourites.
We're still doing the nerdies. We're going to do the nerdies.
The nerdies.
Well, if in case people don't know, we've been discussing this. We're going to do the nerdies. So we're going to do almost like a little awards ceremony for films this year.
And
for comics. Whether we podcast it, whether we film it, I don't know. We could do it live. I'm not sure. Let us know what you want us to do.
Idea. Do it live.
But we're just going to do something at the end. But I honestly...
Maybe we could get an audience.
That's true. Like a studio audience.
Yeah, a studio audience.
If you want to be part of the Talk Nerdies,
please send dick pics to
at Nerdy UK
and Chris Wakefield.
Tweet at us at Talk Nerdy UK. Follow us on Instagram at Talk Nerdy UK. Like the Facebook page /Talk Nerdy UK.
And the SoundCloud's been sorted now.
And SoundCloud is /Talk Nerdy UK as
correct,
well. Yeah. Which is where you'll be listening to this on. Probably, or iTunes if we get that sorted out. And the most important thing, go to the website at www.talknerdy.uk.
Oh, you can check out everything?
Everything, all our reviews, all our latest news, blogs about random shit and just general nerdy thoughts.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with how this has gone. Don't think we need to talk about anything else. Yeah. Join us next time when we'll be asking each other questions, but I'll be losing... in competitions when I won that in my head. I won. I was right. Until next time, yeah? Keep talking nerdy.
Thanks, guys.